What's up, everybody? This is Connor and Joshua with Chamber One Tactical. Today, we've got the Palmetto State Armory AR-15 upper. It is not the full gun, it's just the upper. We were trying to test some separate things, trying to test the upper to see if you put it on a bunch of different lowers, is it still going to work right and stuff like that. So, very excited to do a review on this thing. And this is actually Joshua's, so I'm going to let him do most of the talking today. But we had a really good time testing this gun out for you guys. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and let's get into it.
All right, first shots out of the Palmetto State upper.
All right, so the first thing we typically like to start off with is the price point. So Joshua actually bought this, so I'm going to let him explain what the price was.
Yeah, so I got this upper as a daily deal on Palmetto State's website, which they do all the time. This was a blemished model. So I got this in at $199, and then that did not come with the bolt carrier group or a charging handle. So I spent another $75 on a bolt carrier from Palmetto State. So this is a Palmetto State one. And then the charging handles were as cheap as, I believe, $12 to $14. But I did choose to get one with like a more extended grip on there that just makes it a little easier to use. Not like the best design by any means, but I was trying to build this as cheap as possible, while still being something I would actually use. And just those standard charging handles aren't the best. So I think that one might have been maybe closer to $35. I can't remember. So that's all the money that we have just in the upper to make it functional. And then I guess just to talk about the little scope we have on here is a Monstrum. It's just an Amazon 1-6 that we wanted to test out. So far it's doing great. So we'll probably have a video on that later on, and then just a little red dot at a 45-degree angle up here.
That the mount won't get tight enough.
Yeah, we're gonna switch this up. This mount actually broke, so we're gonna switch that up.
Yep. But my first
forgot.
No, you're good.
We put a muzzle device on here. This
Strike
is the
Industries.
Strike Industries muzzle device.
I think it's a J-Comp is what I believe this
I can't
one is.
remember. They're not expensive. They're like $40.
Yeah. So my question to you, because I didn't know this was a blemished. Did you see any?
I found the blemish.
Okay, what is it?
It was,
because I wanted to know.
It was very hard to find, but it does not bother me one bit. That right there is the blemish, and we'll do a close up for you guys. Just right there, you see that little scratch.
That's it.
That was it. I looked over the entire gun, and I've only found that one little bit that seemed to be the blemish.
So I would assume their blemishes are most of the time either finishes not going on 100% correctly or tooling marks in the actual metal.
Yeah.
But
that does not bother me at all.
He just said it was blemished. I didn't know up until this point that it was a blemished upper. So, kudos to Palmetto State for putting out even their blemished stuff is not does not really have issues. But as far as the testing itself went, first things first, we'll go ahead and talk about reliability. We did have, I do believe we ended up having 3 malfunctions with this gun.
Yeah.
With this specific, upper and lower setup, which I believe it's a Diamondback lower. We thought that would be a good fit for budget style, upper, budget style lower. So the malfunctions we had were pretty significant malfunctions, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The rounds were really getting turned backwards and double feed, and I mean we had a few issues that we were not happy to see. Woohoo, that's worse than I thought. Hey, just so you guys know, this gun is like blazing hot. See what happens again. I'm gonna hold it here.
That's impressive.
That's all the way flipped around.
Okay, dropped one there. Let's look at the bullet that dropped. Save that for a rainy day.
What is that, 3?
Yep, number 3. So
That's a good
look
one.
in the chamber. You see that extra round in there?
Yep.
Okay. So.
The gun did seem to be pretty over gassed, to the point where it was even hitting us in the face a little bit while we were shooting. And we don't have a suppressor on here or anything like that, but it was a very gassy setup. So we're going to do a little bit of changing up to see if there's something we can do to kind of fix that or remedy that. And we'll have to let you guys. We'll have to do an update video, letting you guys know if we could fix that issue.
Yep.
But the malfunctions were unfortunate. We were not happy to see that, especially just coming off doing the Diamondback video, which is a similar priced out the door total if you do a whole gun build. So a little unfortunate that we had some malfunctions. I don't, like I said, we won't know until we try to remedy it and put it with all Palmetto State lower parts and everything like that to know if there's anything that was just this lower. I doubt it's the lower though. I mean, it's all going to be more than likely in the upper. So, like I said, a little unfortunate, but it was still accurate. We had a good time shooting it. Like I said, that little comp down there, what he was talking about, it did an excellent job, and y'all need to just thank me for putting my life on the line, because standing close to the muzzle of that goofy device and filming, oh my goodness, my teeth were rattling out, my ears were going to blow. I mean, it was crazy.
You don't want to be anywhere
close
near the gun except for the person shooting it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a little unfortunate,
it shoots gas out.
But yeah. But tell us more about the upper itself.
Yeah, so the upper is it's pretty lightweight. The Diamondback, just comparing the uppers just by themselves, was a little bit lighter. When I was switching them out, I did notice this one was a little bit heavier, but not too noticeable to where this is like a heavy upper. One thing that I do appreciate that they did add some QD points for a sling. I would have preferred one down here as well, sort of like what Bear Creek does.
Yeah.
Because I actually utilize that one up front, down here a lot. So I would have liked an extra QD point right there. I do like having the full Picatinny rail up top. I don't like the ones that, you kind of lose it a little bit. This is really nice, gives you a lot of material to be able to put flashlights, pressure pads, whatever it might be that you want to put on there. And then, of course, the M-lock all the way around, just allowing it to be lightweight. So very comfortable foregrip or handrail, really.
Yeah.
And I do want to put a foregrip on it just because I like to have a little something to wrap my fingers around. But yeah.
Yeah, that's something that we talked about on the Diamondbacks. Is that I know it makes it lighter. We understand that. But it's nice to have all that Picatinny on the top. To have lights mounted or pressure switches mounted. There's just more. It's more versatile at the end of the day. And on this Diamondback, it's just there's not a ton you can do on this area right here. So, we talked about, I think, was it the Bear Creek Arsenal?
Yeah, it was the Bear Creek.
That we had an issue getting his pressure pad to actually stay on that section because it just wasn't it wasn't the spec, right? it was just loose. So your
Right.
actual pressure pad just wouldn't stay on. So he was actually using rubber bands to keep it, tight.
Ranger bands.
Yeah. So, oh, I'm sorry, Ranger bands. But yeah, I really liked the size of the rail for one. I think it was very easy to get a hold of. I love all the room that they use for your M-LOK rails. Like I said, the Picatinny on top. I think it's a aesthetically pleasing gun.
Yeah. It doesn't look budget by any means.
No, I mean the finish, and that's why I'm so surprised to hear that it was a blim, because the finish is just excellent on here. They did a really, really good job, and the actual meetup of your barrel and handguard to your upper receiver is very, very tight and almost seamless. I mean, it's a very, very well put together upper. So glad to see that as far as the aesthetics and the look of it. But so at this point, we have probably about 500 rounds through this upper. We tried to shoot it as much as we could. Now, you guys will see in some of the shooting we did, we were burning our hand off.
All right, this gun's getting a little hot, so me and Connor did have to put on a glove. Please don't call us sissies.
So it is getting a little hotter, and the guns are staying hot. So we did end up having that issue, which, I think any gun we shot that day, if we had ARs out there and we were shooting them, we're going to have that issue. But this one, it did heat up really, really quick, and it got very hot. So, but at this point, with the issues that we've had, would you still recommend this upper? And if you're not going to recommend this one, where would you point someone in the direction of at this price point at that point?
So I would say, as of right now, with the 3 malfunctions that we have being pretty serious malfunctions, I'm not going to recommend this yet until maybe we can try maybe the full Palmetto package of a Palmetto lower, the Palmetto parts kit. I already have one Anderson lower with the Palmetto State parts kit in it, so maybe we could do that one.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I am not going to recommend this upper, just because you could get a Diamondback with that we've had 0 malfunctions with for the same price. So I can't recommend this yet, and I so badly want to, because they have great reviews from other people on YouTube, Google, whatever you want to look at to get your information from. People love these AR-15s. There are other people that have issues as well. It's not just us, but it's kind of like, because they're mass producing these in budget, you're going to get lemons, and I think we got a lemon. But I'm not going to make my opinion final until we do a full review and we've actually tested it with all Palmetto stuff, just to give them that chance. But I would say that you should be able to. I mean, this is a pretty standard lower. Everything's pretty much mil spec on it. So I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we're still going to see malfunctions pop up, but we're still going to give it that chance.
Yeah, and we typically try to remedy things ourselves. We really don't like sending stuff back to companies and having to deal with all of that. We try to, one, use that as a learning experience to see if we can fix it ourselves. And two, Palmetto State, like you said, this is unfortunately, and I know we're going to get a lot of comments about this, but this is almost putting it back in the Bear Creek Arsenal. Unfortunately, in the Bear Creek Arsenal range, because all the Bear Creek Arsenals we've had really hadn't had any issues, but we have a ton of people letting us know on both sides of it, saying, I love mine, it's great, it's never had any issues, I had multiple different calibers, they're awesome. And then you also have the other side. Mine broke the first day. I had my charging handle shear off the first shot. And Palmetto State is a similar experience. You have people that say, I trust my life with it. It's a great upper, great guns, great way to get into the AR-15 platform. And then you also have people saying, don't buy it, spend your money elsewhere. You're going to have issues with it right out of the box. So I think this is one of those things that we're going to try and remedy. We're going to try and pair it up with its own maker's parts. So we're going to try and do a full Palmetto State complete build to see if we can get it to cooperate.
I want this to be a success.
Yeah,
I like Palmetto State as a company, both the handguns that we've gotten from them, and then of course the fact that they're wanting to arm citizens with good, reliable firearms. I hope we can get it to be reliable.
Well, and I'm hoping that the malfunctions we had were specific to the being overgassed, like way overgassed. So maybe we can get the buffer itself a little heavy, get a little heavier buffer to slow down that action a little bit, or I'm not real sure what we're going to do yet, but we will let you guys know as we make that journey what we're doing and what we're finding with the gun. So as of right now, I don't really think that I can recommend the Palmetto State Armory uppers. Obviously go and do more research if that's something that's in your price range and you want to go ahead and pull the trigger on something. Definitely do some more research on these, see what other people are saying, because we are just a one of one study right now. We just have the one, so we can't really say whether or not we would recommend it to you as of right now. But like Joshua said, we will keep you guys updated as we go.
Yeah.
But that's the review as of right now that we have on the Palmetto State Armory upper. This is, like I said, like he said, the 16-inch. So just let us know if you have any questions about the firearm itself, any of the accessories that we have. Let us know if you guys have had any issues like this, and let us know what you did to remedy it. And if you have any other general comments or questions, let us know down in the comment section. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and like and share, and we will catch you next time.